Welcome to VVG TV. VVG is the virtual video group with me, your virtual presenter. Later in today's programme, we look at computer 3D modelling and take visits to Rothesay in Scotland, Bergen in Norway and Yarmouth in Canada. In our first report, John Sharp takes a trip to Biggin Hill Airport to look at the strongest link, including a unique and intriguing statue, and delves into its background and the history it represents.
At the southern end of Biggin Hill Airport, outside the Landing Hotel, is a small memorial garden. In the centre of the garden is a statue of an RAF pilot. He is holding a cup of tea and looking towards the sky in anticipation of the call to action. The statue and garden were designed by award-winning designer John Everest for the RAF Benevolent Fund at the Chelsea Flower Show in 2022. And was funded by the Giving Back project. The statue itself consists of 1,200 laser-cut steel layers. Sir Winston Churchill called Biggin Hill the strongest link, and it was also the motto of the RAF station, and can still be seen at the entrance to the RAF St George's Chapel of Remembrance. Inside the chapel can be seen the emblem of RAF Biggin Hill, the sword surmounted by a chain signifying offence and defence. The garden was relocated in September 2022 and unveiled by Randolph Churchill, great-grandson of Sir Winston Churchill. The garden forms a fitting tribute to the men and women of RAF Biggin Hill who fought so gallantly in the Battle of Britain.
Our own strongest link, John Sharp, reporting from Biggin Hill. We travel north to Scotland now for Pauline Johnson's report from Rothesay, where she recalls how paddle steamers were exempt from Sunday drinking laws, the men who took advantage, and a magnificent men's public convenience that was built as a result.
One Hogmanay, the Glasgow Fair, there was me, myself and several men.
Passengers aboard the paddle steamers were exempt from the Scottish law that banned drinking on Sundays. This resulted in men getting drunk, i.e. steaming, and by the time they got to Bute, they needed to use the toilet. In 1899, Rothesay Harbour Trust commissioned the gents' lavatories supplied by Twyford's Limited of Glasgow for £530, 20 urinals and 9 cubicles. They fell into disrepair, but they were renovated in 1994 at a cost of £300,000 by Strathclyde Building Preservation Trust. They were reopened by Lady Lucinda Lambton, who praised the toilets as the most beautiful in the world. The urinal patronised by the Duke of Rothesay, now King Charles III, is marked by his coat of arms. At the same time, they found an adjacent storeroom which was converted to provide facilities for ladies. At last!
But the police wouldn't let us stop another hour in Rothesay, oh. Da-da-ma-doo, a-da-da-ma-dee, da-da-ma-doo-a-daddy, oh. Da-da-ma-doo, a-da-da-ma-dee, the day we went to Rothesay, oh.
A perfectly sober Pauline Johnson reporting on the habits of Victorian men in Rothesay. Ivor Bednar is a man with two passions, movie making and constructing computer 3D models. In one of his latest productions, he documents the present and recreates the past, making an enthralling record of buildings and their history.
I like making a documentary film with a camcorder and making 3D virtual models as well. I like connecting both together. My huge challenge is making a film documentary about the disappearing building and disappearing machines. For example, the basilica in York, which once stood where the cathedral now stands. It is a good file. From Easy Chapel from half of 11th century, during first basilica cross-shaped floor plan in 1075 year. To complicate building of basilica in 1180 year. My next example is the Hadrian Wall and how the wall looked before AD 410. Nice example is the wall during the river Irving. Another example is the cup from Priam's treasure. The last challenge is the disappear mining factory Shalamona from year 1906. This is my big project in future.
Ivor Bednar's fascinating way of recording and visualising historic buildings. Now, if you take a long and hilly hike off the tourist trail in Bergen, Norway, you may come across a food sustainable forest project. Jen Scarsbrook, with her intrepid cameraman Richard Scarsbrook, reports.
Ulriken is the highest mountain around Bergen. When we set off, it was a process of discovery, and then we went into the food forest. The food forest is just like a little oasis of semi-cultivated land with all sorts of plants growing, bushes, trees. Some of the bushes are fruit bushes like gooseberry and raspberry, but it still had a wilderness feel about it.
Food forests are like a combination of plants which help each other. That's the idea. So it's not like one plant like in normal farming, but you have a mixture of many different plants.
And so people can come in and pick the gooseberries or whatever's in season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the idea.
And do you?
Yeah, I take some of the things. I don't like to take too much because then the next season might not be so good. So.
Yeah.
Like I picked some recently some rhubarbs. We planted many rhubarbs, and I like to make lemonade.
And one really nice thing about the whole place was the community spirit, the fact that people come and work there.
People are going together and help each other. So, and sort of like the expectation is that people help each other.
Sherpas came over from Nepal and made these massive amounts of steps and made it possible to climb what's a very, very steep hill. By the top, I was ready for the steps to stop.
Jen and Richard Scarsbrook making that hilly hike so we don't have to. Finally, on VVG TV, from Yarmouth in Nova Scotia, Canada, Alan Sinclair reports on the 2024 agricultural exhibition that, as always, has something of interest for everyone.
Well, it's August. We're in Yarmouth, not in the UK, but in Nova Scotia, Canada, for the 182nd Yarmouth Agricultural Society County Show and Exhibition. With a packed programme of indoor and outdoor events, the exhibitors are getting ready. First up is the horse costume class.
Well, dagnabbit, they're even throwing bananas out there.
Next, the hay bale challenge. And then the very popular oxen haul competition.
200 on. 7,400.
The sky darkens. The rain forces most of us into the indoor arena, where there are lots of exhibits of arts and crafts from within the southwest Nova Scotia area. The exhibition covers 4 whole days with a huge programme of events both indoor and outdoor. This is merely a snapshot of the Saturday programme. And then of course the indoor entertainment, Highland dancing, the mariachi band, line dancing, and the amazing chainsaw juggler Ian Stewart. As the thunderstorm passes, we can go outside again for the power saw competition. And all this and much more for a daily entrance fee of $10. That's only £5.60. Amazing value. I will definitely be back next year.
An enthusiastic Alan Sinclair reporting from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, winding up today's VVG TV. So till next time is goodbye from me, and thanks for watching.